Hello students. Today we are going to deal with another short poem by Robert Frost. The name of the poem is Fire and Ice. Robert Frost was born on 26 March 1874 and died on January 29, 1963. He was an American poet, but most of his work was initially published in England before it was published in America. He was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal in 1960 for his poetic works. On July 22, 1961, Robert Frost was named the Poet Laureate of Vermont. Now let us look at the theme of the poem. Robert Frost's poem Fire and Ice expresses the profound idea that the world would end in either of two ways, either by ice or by fire. Both these components are compared with self-destructing human emotions, hatred and desire. The poem very artistically underpins the philosophy that we let our emotions rule us, and if we don't control them, they will surely destroy everything around us. Similarly, in this, he thinks fire and ice both are just as competent in bringing the world to a catastrophic end. Now let us see what are the different human emotions. There are various kinds of human emotions like love, like, hate, desire, sorrow, pain, anger, etc. Some of these emotions have destructive powers and some have constructive powers. Here, Robert Frost uses the symbols fire and ice. He uses these to show how desire and hatred contribute to making the world stand at the verge of a chaos or destruction. So, in simple words, what he is trying to say is, these two emotions, that is desire and hatred, can bring about the end of the world. Now let us look at the poem, The Fire and Ice. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Here we have to see the meaning of two words. We have to know the detailed meaning of the word desire and fire. Desire, what is that? A strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. And what is favor? Support or approval. The poet says that he had often heard people telling that the world will come to an end in two ways. One is because of fire and the other is because of ice. Now, very interestingly, he has used these two elements. What are those two elements? Fire and ice. He is comparing fire and ice to different human emotions. Fire is equated to desire. Desire, as we saw, a strong feeling to own something. It's like greed. You won't be satisfied with whatever you get if you have greed, and you will need more and more, and that will be increasing, that will be growing bigger and bigger. You will not be happy with anything that you get. That need and greed will be increasing. So it goes like fire, say wildfire, and ice is equated to hatred. The poet says that these two elements, fire and ice, can bring about the destruction of the world. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Here, what the poet feels is that desire is such a dangerous thing because it keeps on growing, it becomes bigger and bigger. Nobody is satisfied with what they have. It just grows on just like fire, and it engulfs the whole world and destroys it. And I hold with those who favor fire. My personal opinion is that, poet's personal opinion is that he is supporting those people who are favoring fire. Fire would cause the end of the world because that is that destructive. And the poet is not writing off the possibility of the end of the world in another way. So, and the poet says that he favors or supports the people who favor fire, and that would end the world, because the fire of greed, it's not simply desire, the fire of greed, and that's why he thinks that the end of the world will be because of fire. And he is not writing off the possibility of the end of the world by another means. And second stanza says about that. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. So I told you, he doesn't write off the possibility of the end of the world with by another means. Here two words we have to see: perish and suffice. Perish, to die, to destroy. And what is suffice? Be sufficient, be enough. The poet is also of the opinion that if the world is to perish or end twice, two times, what does the word perish mean? End or destroy. If the world is to be destroyed twice, I think I know enough of hate. He knows enough. It's enough. What is enough? Hate is also enough. He says he knows hatred is enough because it is equally destructive. How destructive is fire? The same destructive powers are there for ice as well, because there is enough hatred in the world which can cause the destruction of the entire world. He compares hatred to ice. Why he compares that hatred to ice, we can see. He says that there is a lot of hatred among people, such that nobody is bothered about each other. Nobody is worried about each other, and nobody is having that passion, feeling or sympathy or empathy towards others. Each one has become so insensitive that they do not want to think about others at all. So to say that for destruction ice is also great. He says that the earth will become frozen because of the insensitivity of the human beings, because nobody will be bothered about each other. So he says that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice, would be enough. He is saying that ice is also equally good like fire to destroy the world. He is comparing fire with ice, and desire. He is comparing fire and ice to desire and hatred. These two human emotions are equally good to destroy the world. If there is destructive human emotions, these two are they. They are these two, desire and hatred. And if these two human destructive emotions are not controlled and they are not put under our control, what would happen? That would end the world. The entire world will be completely perished because of these two emotions. One, our greed will be increased, and because of the greed we will forget everything and we will want to have more and more, and we will think only about ourselves. We will be completely selfish. And the other side, when we become selfish, what happens to us? The other side comes, the ice, insensitivity. We will be frozen. We will have no sympathy or any soft feeling towards others. And when we have no such powers of understanding the pain of others, and when we are frozen, what happens? That puts an end to the entire world, entire human life on earth. Not just human life, the entire life will be ended. That's all the poem. And now let us look at some of the poetic devices used in this poem, the technical side of the poem. Imagery is one of those poetic devices that is used by the poet. Imagery is used to make readers perceive things involving their five senses. World will end in fire. The image of the end of the world is created in this line. So that is the example of imagery. And alliteration, we have already seen that in our class 9 chapters. Still, the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words is what we call alliteration. Some say favor fire. So in some say the S sound, some say then favor fire, F, that favor fire. These two are good examples of alliteration. And the other one, that other poetic device that is used here is assonance. The repetition of vowel sound in the same line. In consecutive words, the repetition of vowel sound. I hold with those. I hold those who favor fire. So O sound in hold, those who favor, all those are good examples of assonance. And symbol. Here in this poem, desire and hatred, these two human emotions are symbolized by using two other things like fire and ice. So that's all the poem. Thanks for watching.